Unmute yourself, honey. What do we do when we come across a word that we don't know?
We can at least go in a dictionary or hook it up.
We can, but it does take a lot of time to do that, and sometimes you get distracted with other words. But we can absolutely, that is absolutely one thing that we can do, especially now that we're doing distance learning. It might be a little bit easier to just go through and Google that word very quick. Absolutely. Sebastian, what else can we do when we come across a word that we don't know? Unmute yourself. You don't know? Okay, this is nothing new. Everybody in here should be able to tell me. Irene, I see you raising your hand. What can we do when we come across a word we don't know?
We can use context clues.
What do you mean by that? What's context clues?
Look around the word.
Look for what? What are we looking for?
The definition.
Yeah, sometimes the author will just flat out tell us what that word means, right? What else can we look for, Francella?
You can look for footnotes.
Yes, absolutely. We can look at footnotes, and in the footnotes, the author will tell us what that word means. Michaela, what else can we do? What else can we look for? Unmute yourself, Michaela.
Yes.
Context clues, honey. What are we looking for?
Key details that try to help you understand a word.
Okay, like by what exactly is going on in that part of the text?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Okay. Dee Dee, what else can we look for? Unmute yourself, sweetheart.
You can also look for clues in the text.
Like Michaela was saying, what kind of clues should we look for? We know that the author will tell us the meaning, footnotes, will describe. Michaela. Dee Dee, unmute yourself. What else can we look for? You're not sure?
No.
Okay. Sometimes the author will give us a synonym, will give us an antonym, will describe the word, will tell us exactly what it is, what's going on. So those give us clues. Now in author, specifically this week, we're going to focus on figurative language, primarily on similes and metaphors. Diana, what's a simile? No, give her a second. Diana, unmute yourself. What's a simile? Dee Dee, camera on. Lana, Logan, Denzel, cameras on, please.
Okay, so go do it. I think Bungle could use some organization.
Diana, you don't remember?
For Bud, your house could use some beefing up. There's be some leftover bricks when you fix my roof. Yeah, no kidding. And then Barge is simple.
Diana.
Stop by the farm, pick up the potatoes. Right,
Can she hear us?
sure. Well, here's Budge's house. Why don't we just-
Diana, can you hear me?
Great. Okay.
Oh.
What's a simile?
It's probably a good idea to help Bungle get organized.
You're not sure?
Last thing's potatoes.
A simile is something
There we
when
go.
it's
Waiting for us.
similar.
All right, Barge.
Yes.
There
A
you go.
simile is when an author is comparing two things using the words. Who remembers? Amelia, you remember?
Like an ant.
Like or as. For example, I've used a simile in the classroom before. I am like a bear in the morning when I don't have coffee. What two things are being compared here, Sherlyn? Unmute yourself. I need to see your face, Sherlyn. What two things are being compared? Did you hear the comparison that I made? Okay, we need to be paying attention. Turn the TVs off, turn the games off, and it is time to be focused on the lesson. We've only been doing the lesson for like 5 minutes and I've already had to repeat myself several times.
So turn on your cameras. Misael, Giancarlo, Amari, Logan, Wilfred. We need to see you. Denzel, we can't see you. Anima. Everyone should be sitting in a location where they can really focus and pay attention.
The camera should be on you, not on your ceiling, not on your bed, on you.
Thank you.
Be quiet.
I am like a bear in the morning when I don't have coffee. Anai, what two things are being compared?
You being a bear in the morning because you don't have coffee.
Right, I am comparing myself to a bear. Why would I compare myself to a bear? The bear doesn't drink coffee. Why would I compare myself to a bear, Anai? What do you think I mean by that?
Because when you don't have coffee, you go crazy.
What do you know about a bear?
I get mad.
Yeah, they're like ferocious, right? Ah! So I am in the morning when I don't have coffee. That's a simile because I use the word like. So when we use the word like or as, it's a simile. Now, if I was to say I am a bear in the morning when I don't have coffee, am I really a bear, Erasmo? Does that mean that I grow fur and puppy ears?
No.
So what does it mean that I am a bear in the morning?
Like you're mad because you didn't have your coffee?
Right. I am still comparing myself to a bear in the sense that I get in the morning if I don't have coffee. So the difference between a metaphor and a simile is a simile uses the word like or as to compare two things, and a metaphor does not. The clouds are marshmallows. Are the clouds really marshmallows, Anaya?
The clouds are not marshmallow, they're just white and fluffy.
Right. So I am comparing the clouds to marshmallows because they're both white and puffy. Okay. So as you're reading this week, make sure that you're really paying attention to what is it exactly that the author is saying. Why is the author using this language, or why is the author using this particular word? Are there context clues? Is the author comparing two specific things? We need to pay attention to those things so that we are able to better understand. And as always, as you read, you need to make sure that you are using your close reading strategies, chunking the text, using the annotation tools, like the one that the purple little box at the top that says RW that Ms. Bird helped us figure out last week.
Ms. Rodriguez.
And if nothing else, you should have your notebook or a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, and you can take notes to keep track of your thoughts. You shouldn't be just reading straight through. You should be chunking the text. And by that, I mean, you read a part, you stop and think about what is the text saying. You can take the notes using the read-write tools right on the passage, or you can take notes to yourself on a piece of paper, just keeping track of your thoughts that way, okay? Yes, Erasmo. You need to unmute yourself, sweetheart.
No, I turned it off because, hold on. Go ahead, Erasmo.
How do you use the read and write? Because I try to use it and it won't, like.
Okay, at the end, make sure that you stay on at the end and we'll help you with that. All right, so
Okay.
some of you, after the daily lesson, and sometimes even in the middle of this lesson, some of you are logging off. First of all, we know that you're leaving.
There's a noise that rings. It's a little ding. Y'all can't hear that?
No.
No, oh, I'm the only one that can hear that?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
We know that you're leaving because I'm keeping track of you as Ms. Bird does the lesson. So if you are leaving before you're supposed to leave, we know you're leaving. Second of all, we've been asking some of you to stay after the lesson and some of you haven't been staying. So do not complain later that you don't know what you're doing when we're asking you to stay. Today, after today's lesson, Francella, Kevin Chacon, Servando, Logan, Stephanie, Jackendall, Denzel, Sebastian, Antoine, Samuel, Rochelle, and Anima. After today's lesson, you need to stay. Also, any student that has any questions or needs any help need to stay as well, okay? If you have any questions about the reading, if you don't remember something, you can stay and I'll answer questions. You shouldn't have a lot of questions because you should be reading first, the text. But if you have any questions about reading, writing, anything, any of the work that you've done, if you're not sure about something, you need to be saying something. Don't wait until we call your parents to figure out why you're not working. If you have any issues, make sure that you stay and ask. I'll repeat the names later. All right, Ms. Bird, all you.
Okay. Good morning, guys. Friday, you guys had a math test. It was all on multiplication. Remember, you were supposed to upload the questions, not the questions, I'm sorry, your work onto Canvas. And if you were not able to upload your work, you should have texted to me. I gave you guys my phone number a million times by now. The following students have not turned it in. As Ms. Rodriguez said, progress reports go out on Wednesday, but I'm working on mine today because I don't want to wait till the last minute. So if it's not done today, because I'm going to start working on it at 4 o'clock, then that's going to go onto your progress report. So keep in mind, and I think a lot of you guys are confused and you just think that you automatically go to 6th grade. No, because we don't have FSA, this last quarter is so important for you guys. I don't know how many times we have to emphasize that. Just because there is no FSA does not mean you're automatically going to 6th grade. Your work and your iReady, I don't remember if it was iReady from the second diagnostic. I don't remember what she said, but that is what's determining whether or not you go to 6th grade and whether or not you get those remediation classes, which means you get 2 math, 2 readings. Who wants that? I would not. So that means you're sacrificing an elective like PE or something that you really wanted to do, whether it be music or something of that nature. If you're not doing what you need to do and getting the grades that you need, you are sacrificing that in 6th grade if you make it to 6th grade. So although you're tired of hearing us talk about it, we don't want to see you at level next year. We really don't. When we come visit like we did this year at Piedmont, we want to see you in the hallways at Piedmont next year. Okay, or Apopka. So keep that in mind, and that is why we're stressing it so much that you guys need to be doing this work, because this is determining what's going to happen for you on May 27th or whatever day is the last day of school. So with that in mind, Francella, Anima, Wilfred, Kevin Hernandez, Lana, Genesis, Misael, Giancarlo, Omar Diari, and Logan Simmons, y'all have not done that math test that was due on Friday, which makes no sense because everyone that I just called was on the Zoom on Friday. So you should have and the Zoom was only 30 minutes. So you should have immediately logged off and took that math test. And then uploaded your work so that I could see it. Remember, if you do not show me your work, you're gonna get an automatic F, because we can use a calculator all day, every day, but I want to see you doing the work. So I wanna make sure that you know how to do it. So when you go to 6th grade, you're able to fluently multiply up to 5-digit products. Any questions, comments, concerns? All right, I'm gonna give you a minute to go get paper and pencil, because this week, we're doing division. So paper, pencil, I'll wait, I'll set the timer.
Miss Bird, I have good news to tell you at the end. Security guards.
Hopefully everyone's ready. All right, so today, yes, Irene. Today we're doing division, and we don't need to know how to do long division until 6th grade. I know a lot of you have people that have shown you how to do long division. Before we go to long division, because it is kind of testing with long division whether or not you know place value and where you need to start with place value. In 5th grade, we do partial quotient and the area model. So today we're going to focus on partial quotient. So I'm going to show you what I mean by partial quotient. And we're going to start first with vocabulary. So the first thing that we need to focus on is, what is a quotient? So in the private chat, you're going to tell me what you think a quotient is. Just tell me the definition of a quotient. What specifically is a quotient? I'll give you about 2 minutes. Good job, Amelia. Good job, Amari. Good job, Samuel. Good job, Gabby. Good job, Giancarlo. So again, my question is, what is a quotient? When they talk about quotient, what is a quotient? Good job, Anahi. Good job, Erasmo. All right, so when we're talking about a quotient is the answer to a division problem. So in your notes or your notebook or whatever you're using, you're gonna write what a quotient is, the answer to a division problem. And this is important, hint, hint, you may see it again. All right, the next vocabulary word we need to focus on is divisor. So again, another 2 minutes, and you're gonna tell me what a divisor is. Remember, put it in the private chat, and I need your words, not Google, not Wikipedia, your words, not your mama's, your words. What is a divisor? When we're talking about division, what is the divisor? Good job, Gabby. Hold on. Good job. Gabby, good job. I think a lot of y'all are confused. Divisor and dividend are two different things. Good job, Logan Simmons. All right, so when we're talking about, sorry, I was reading your chats. All right, so when we're talking about divisor and dividend, I think this is where the confusion comes in. The dividend is the number that you're breaking apart. So that's the total. So when you're talking about a dividend, that's the total that is being divided, or the number being divided. But the divisor is what you're breaking the dividend into, if that even makes sense. So the divisor is the number that I'm dividing by. I think somebody said it, I think it was Logan Simmons, the number you're dividing with. So if the dividend is my total, or my number that I'm breaking apart, my divisor is what I'm breaking it into, or how I'm breaking it apart, if that makes sense. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Okay. So when we say the divisor, that's the number we divide by. And the dividend is the total or the number being broken up. So I'm gonna write a problem and we're gonna identify the quotient, the divisor, and the dividend. Just gonna start with a simple one. All right, so I'm gonna start with the quotient. Which number is my quotient? And you can put it in a private chat. So is it the 4, the 3, or the 12? Which number is my quotient? Good job, Gabby. Good job, Irene. Good job, Anahi. Good job, Rochelle. Ooh, it's going fast. Hold on. Good job, Amelia. Good job, Francella. Good job, Michaela. Good job, Anaya. All right, so when we're talking about the quotient, so the first one I asked you about was the quotient. The quotient is the answer to a division problem, so 4 would be our quotient. So hopefully you're writing this. So it can help you with your exit slips, and hint, hint, whenever you have that division test, if they ask you for the quotient. All right, so next I'm gonna ask you, what is the divisor? I'm gonna give you a minute again. What is the divisor? Send me a message in the private chat. Good job, Anaya. Good job, Francella. Irene, Sherlyn, good job. Good job, Sebastian. Good job, Michaela. Good job, Misael. Good job, Leah. All right. So the divisor, the number that we are dividing by, is going to be 3. Which means that our dividend, the number or the total that we're breaking up, is 12. This is the number that we're breaking up. All right, I'm going to give you about 2 more minutes in case you were not able to write all of that down. Anima, can you hear us? All right, so I was looking through and everyone looks to be done writing. So I'm going to continue. Yes. All right, so that's going to help us with our next part. We only have 3 little things that we're doing today, okay? And I wanted to give you guys an idea of what we're doing before we start on it. So the first thing that we're going to do with division, remember we're talking about partial quotient. So I want you guys to log onto the Nearpod that's on Canvas. Hopefully it works today. It should work. Oh, I'll message her. Sorry. Okay. 30 more seconds while you guys log on. Remember, you're going into Canvas this week, Monday, April 27th. Go to the live Nearpod lesson. Yes, Michaela. It may make you click through the resources. Just click through them. Y'all don't have to do anything. Just look at it. Click through it. Click, click, click. Go to Monday. What, Erasmo? Just click through it. Click through the first one. It just says resource, right? Partial product or something, or area model. Click through it and click through the next one and go to Monday. Let me see your screen. There's a glare, so I can't see it. Yes, click on resource. Click on that. And then go to the next one. Just hit next at the bottom. Next. Over there, next. Yes, click that. I can't see it. Can you put your, thank you. Click next. Just go to, all you're doing is going to the Canvas. I can't see it. Go closer and go up a little bit. So go to modules. Go to distance learning. Go to modules on distance learning on the left. And then go to math, week of 4/27. And then all you're doing is clicking on the live lesson. All right, so today we're going to divide with the 2-digit divisors. Our goal is to use the partial product when we're dividing. So when we're using partial product, this is what we're talking about. So this is a model of what partial product looks like. I'm going to give us a problem and work us through partial product. Why am I saying partial product? I'm sorry, partial quotient. And remember, a partial quotient is the answer to a division problem. I'm stuck on last week where we were doing partial product, which is the answer to a multiplication problem. So partial means a part of. So I'm trying to find the parts of the division problem or the division answer. And we can do it 2 different ways. We can put the partial quotient on top of, I call this little thing right here, the division house. Or we can put it on the side. And when we're doing partial quotients, we're always working on powers of 10. So the problem that we're going to be working on today specifically is 816 divided by 24. Before you start working on it, let me model what the partial quotient would look like. So before you start modeling, I'm going to model so that you guys get an idea of what it should look like, okay? So again, on that notes page that you guys have, you're going to write these notes so that it'll help you when you are uploading your exit slip, if that makes sense. So keep that in mind as we are working. You want to take these notes so that you're able to upload this stuff onto Canvas so that I can see you doing your work. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the white screen so that you guys can see what I'm doing and we can work together and you'll have notes. Okay. So the problem was let me find the problem, sorry. 816 divided by 24. So, all right, so using what I know. So I'm still using my notes that I already have. And I'm going to erase this stuff. And I'm just using my notes from before, okay? All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to write the problem. And the problem is 816 divided by 24. And remember, we're only doing partial quotient. So because I have to use a 2-digit divisor, I'm going to try to create, remember we did this in class, multiples of 10. So powers of 10. So I'm going to say 4 times 100, 24 times 10, and 24 times 1. So I can use any of this to help me figure out how many times can 24 go into 816. So we can do a T-chart if that's easier for you, because remember the T-chart is just repeated addition. So all I'm doing is doing repeated addition, or we can use our knowledge from before when we talked about, well, you guys should have talked about powers of 10 with Miss Conley, where you know that all I have to do is 24 times 1 and then add the 0. 24 times 100, add the zeros. 24 times 1000, add my zeros. So if I do a T-chart, 24 times 1 is always going to give me 24. And if I add 24 plus 24, because multiplication is repeated addition, then I'm going to get 48. Ooh, that 8 is a mess. And if I add 24 plus 48, it's going to give me 72. And if I add 72 plus 24, it's going to give me 96. And if I add 24 plus 96, it's going to give me 120. All right, so I know up here is where my quotient goes. So I'm just going to write that up right here. But for partial quotient, I'm just going to use my side right here to write my partial quotients. So the first thing I'm going to do, is there anything that I can multiply 24 by that's going to give me an 8? No. What about 81 or less? Oh, there is. Look here. 24 times 3 is going to give me 72. So over here, sorry, I can do 24 times 3, or I can add my powers of 10 and say 24 times 30. Remember, my powers of 10. So if 24 times 3 is 72, remember what I taught you. I can ignore my zeros until I need my answer. And then I subtract. So I'm going to say 6 minus 0 is 6. If I have 1, I cannot subtract it from 2, but I can regroup and borrow from my hundreds place. 11 minus 2 is 96. So now I'm looking at 96, and I need to figure out, is there anything over here that I can multiply 24 by that's going to give me 96? Oh my goodness, yes. 24 times 4 is going to give me 96. So where is my partial quotient? This is my partial quotient. So then I just say to myself, what is 30 plus 4? 0 plus 4 is 4. 3 plus nothing is 3. So my quotient should be 34 for this answer. So in the private chat, well, I'm sorry, let me give you a minute to finish writing this down in case you were not keeping up. I'll set the timer. Alrighty, so how can I check to make sure that this quotient is correct? So in the private chat, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. Tell me how I can check my division problem. What do I need to do in order to figure out if in fact this quotient is correct? So send me a message in the private chat, 2 minutes. How can I check to make sure that my division problem is correct? Good job, Michaela. Good job, Anaya. Good job, Erasmo. Good job, Samuel. Good job, Anaya. Okay, so a lot of you guys told me that you can multiply, but you didn't tell me what you can multiply. Multiplication is correct. You are supposed to multiply in order to solve, in order to check your work. So what you're going to multiply in order to check your division is your quotient by your divisor. So we're gonna do that to see if we come up with our dividend. If we come up with our dividend, then we know that our work is correct. So let me choose a totally different color. And I'm gonna say 34 times 24. Remember last week we worked all on multiplication. So now we should be able to solve this problem using either partial product or the area model. So I'm just gonna use my area model because it's a little easier for me to show you guys how to do your work. So I'm gonna take my 34 and my 24 and I'm gonna put them in my little boxes like we did last week. And I'm going to decompose or write my numbers in expanded form. So first I have 30 plus 4, and I have 20 plus 4. And hopefully when I do all of this multiplication, I will come up with 816. So 3 times 2 is 6, and then I'm going to add my 2 zeros. 2 times 4 is 8, and then I'm going to add my 0. 3 times 4 is 12, and then I'm going to add my 0. And then 4 times 4 is 16. Once I have all of that, I'm going to add these numbers, which are products, together, and hopefully I will get my dividend. So I have 600, remember to line them up, place value, 120, 80, and then 16. So this is just me checking to make sure that my quotient is correct. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 is, and 6 is gonna give me 6. 8 plus 2 is gonna give me 10 plus 1 is 11. 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 1 is gonna give me 8. So do I have all of my digits that I had in my original problem? Yes, I have 816, which is my dividend, check. I have 24, which is my divisor, check. And my quotient is 34, check. So this is how I would check to make sure that the quotient that I got for my problem is correct. All I'm doing is multiplying my quotient by my divisor. I'm gonna give you about a minute in case you did not have time to write it down as I was working on it, to write this down. So there's no excuse if you're sending me your work as to why your answers would be incorrect, because you know how to check to make sure that your quotient is correct. And even if you don't use the area model, you can use the standard algorithm where you're just multiplying 4 times 4, 4 times 3, regroup, and you're done with your ones place. So then you go to your tens. It gives me the same answer. All right. Everyone good with that so far? Hopefully, thumbs up. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great. All right, so now on the Nearpod, the next question, hopefully everyone submitted that, because right then everyone should have the same answer that I had. So your next question on your Nearpod is a time to climb question. I'm not gonna start it yet. I'm gonna actually show you the question so you'll have time to work it out. Oh, it would help if y'all could see my screen, huh? All right, so let me go to my screen so you can see the question. This is gonna give you time to actually work out the problem before you do the time to climb activity. All right, so this is the question. Layla is taking a trip to the beach with her new puppy for the weekend. She must drive 384 miles in total. She has to stop every 16 miles to let her puppy stretch his legs. How many stops will Layla make? So I'm gonna give you about 2 minutes. Those of you who do not have the Nearpod open or able to work on it, you can text me your like a picture of how you solve the problem as well. All right, so everyone should now be on the Nearpod where you're logging onto the Time to Climb. Amari. Good job, Gavin, Sebastian, Sherlyn, and Genesis. So let's go over the problem. So the problem was all about making stops for the doggy to potty. So it was 384 miles and she stopped every 16 miles. So remember, with partial quotient, you can do powers of 10 or you can create your T-chart. So over here, I know it's not going to be 16 times 1,000 because that's way too big. So I can do 16 times 10 or 16 times 1. Then I'm going to go over here and write all of my factors. I'm going to say up to 5. So 16 times 1 is 16 because any number times 1 is itself. And then multiplication is repeated addition. So I'm just going to add 16 to everything over here. So 16 plus 16 is going to give me 32. 32 plus 16 is going to give me 48. "48 plus 16 is going to give me 64. And actually, I'm going to stop there because I already see a number that I could use. So if I'm looking at my problem, 16 times 1, 16 times 2, 16 times 3, 16 times 4, I'm just going to say, is there any number that is less than 3? No. But there is a number that's less than 38. And that will be 32. So over here, I'm just going to say 16 times 2, but I can make this number bigger and use a power of 10 and say 16 times 20. So 16 times 20 is going to give me 320. And I'm just going to subtract 4. 8 minus 2 is going to give me 64. I'm going to look over here. Is there anything that's 64 or less? Yes. 16 times 4 is going to give me 64. I'm going to add up my partial quotients. 20 plus 4 is going to give me 24. How do I check? I'm going to say 24 times 16. And this number should be, or my answer should be 384. So 6 times 4 is going to give me 24. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. I'm going to regroup. I'm happy that I'm done with my ones place. 4 times 1 is 4, and 2 times 1 is 2. If I add all of this up, 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 plus 1 is 3. 384. So therefore, I know that my quotient of 24 is correct. So I'm going to leave this here really quick in case you need to write it down. All right, so your exit slip today, which you can do right now because everyone's logged on, I'm going to set the timer for about 7 minutes. The exit slip says, Javier, oh, you can't see it. Javier has 672 employees. He wants to assign them equally to his 32 stores around New York. How many employees will there be working at each store? And if he's assigning them equally, whenever I see that hint, equally, that means I'm going to divide. So remember to look for those key words or those clues that tell you what you're going to do. So on the exit slip for Monday, it says to receive full credit, you must upload your work. So remember when I showed you guys how to do the upload? All you're doing is clicking on that submit button, take a picture with your camera, save the picture, upload it. And if you don't have access, you can always text it to me while you're solving it now. Don't stare at me. Work on the exit slip, y'all. Like, don't stare at me. Just thank you. Gabby, did you send a picture? Where's Gabby? Yeah, she did upload it. Thank you, Gabby.
Miss Bird. Miss Bird.
Yes.
I can't do the exit slip neither.
Okay, well, I just showed you the exit slip. You can do it and then take a picture. So I'll share the screen again so that you can see the exit slip. Gabby, what did you use to do that? Unmute yourself.
There's an app on the computer and it's called Fresh Paint, and you can go onto it and do the math.
Y'all need to use that. I like that. I'm gonna show y'all what Gabby did when we
I used it before.
You did? Well, send it to me when y'all do. I like that, Gabby. And you just saved it?
Yes, ma'am.
And you see, I like this.
I use Fresh Paint all the time.
No, how come y'all need to start uploading y'all work with this? I can see everything. I like this.
I can't see the black things in the way.
Good job, Irene. Thank you, Samuel. So, you should be about done. If not, remember to complete it as soon as we're over with the Zoom lesson. Science today is really simple, really quick, really easy. Make sure you're doing that as well.
Miss Bird, I got the answer.
Get the hell out of my way, man.
Okay, well, y'all have to wait. Science is, oh, it's a mission. It's really simple. Let me go over it really quick with you guys. And then we're gonna take attendance. And then you guys can do your work, except for the kids that we asked to stay behind. You're gonna stay behind. And we're gonna work with y'all. Okay, really quick, science. In Canvas, this is what it looks like. If you have the packet, it looks like this as well. All right, so number one, it says observe the picture that shows our solar system. Remember, all of this is a review. After observing the picture, respond to the following question. What is Earth's position in the solar system? And you have to be descriptive. So what is Earth's position in the solar system? All right, you're gonna write that here, and then you will list the characteristics of the inner and outer planet. You're gonna try to fill in the chart as quickly as possible. These are the possible answers. You're gonna tell if it's an inner planet, outer planet, or both inner and outer planet. Any questions, comments, concerns about science? Should be simple, right? Hopefully. Okie dokie, Smokey. Attendance.
Okay, so I'm just gonna call out the students that I have absent. If I call your name and you're here, unmute yourself and say, I'm here, okay? So I have absent, Kevin Chacon, Servando, Logan Flores, Stephanie Jaquendo Morelli, John, Dulce Flor, Akisha, Omar, Diari, Daniel are all absent. Antoine, Brandon, and Armando. If I just called your name and you're here, call out. The people that we need to talk to. Francella, Denzel, Sebastian, Samuel, Rochelle, and Anima. Do not go anywhere. Also, if you have any questions, you need help with something, make sure that you stay and talk to us. Other than that, a lot of you have a lot of work to catch up on, so let's get to work.
Bye, guys. Make sure you're doing your work.
Goodbye.
Don't leave
I'm
because I
here.
called you.
Bye.
Yes, sweetie. I just got it, Rochelle.
Okay. It didn't let me send a picture on it.
It's okay. No, I saw the picture on the text message, so it's good.
Okay.
Thank you, honey.
All right, Denzel, I need to see you. So turn your camera on, put it on you, and unmute yourself.
Misael, did he log off?
I didn't call him, so probably.
Let me text his mom.
Denzel, camera on and unmute yourself.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Amelia. Have a good one, sweetie.
Hi, Amelia.
Bye.
All right, while we're waiting on Rochelle. Sebastian, how are you doing? Do you need any help with anything? Okay, we just wanted to check up on you, that you're doing everything that you're supposed to do and that you didn't need any help with anything. So if you're good, you can go ahead and go and get to work, okay? All right, bye, sweetheart. Samuel, the same thing with you, sweetheart. We just wanted to check up on you. How are you doing? Unmute yourself.
Good. Yeah.
Do you have any questions or do you need any help with anything?
I have like a question. How can you turn in your PE points and like that stuff?